Today I fucked up by agreeing to an open relationship. Obviously a throwaway. To put things into perspective, I am 20, and my GF, F21, had been dating/together for 4 and a bit years. Typical high school sweethearts, we wanted to move away and start our own lives after college. We decided to spice things up a bit and open up our relationship a little. It was pretty much a joint decision, but looking back she was kind of insistent on the whole sex is fun idea. She is on a night out with some friends when she phones me and asks if the whole open relationship thing is still cool, explaining she's met a guy, M24, and asks for me to pay for a hotel because she wasn't working at the time. I agreed. I tell her to go for it, and she does. She texts me to say she had a good night and that all was well. The week after, she mentions she's meeting up with this guy again. Wasn't expecting it, but I'm cool with it. Again, asked for me to pay for her hotel. A decision I would live to regret. She doesn't text me the entire night. The next day I receive a load of messages about how she needs a break from everything right now. Meeting this guy has apparently opened her eyes. A little more conversation and we're over. She's completely cut me out of her life. I check her Snapchat story, and of course, she's with him. I've heard from her friends that they're dating now. Too long didn't read, agreed to an open relationship, basically paid for my girlfriend to find someone better and dump me. And asks for me to pay for a hotel because she wasn't working at the time. Bruh. She dumped him for a guy who didn't even have enough money to pay for a hotel. The worst trade deal in the history of trade deals. It's actually money well spent. The relationship was going to end regardless. 2 nights for a hotel room is definitely cheaper than a couple years of dates. Open relationship or not, the right one will always be by your side. Why did you pay for the hotel once, let alone twice? I mean, this is the real question. Today I fucked up by sending nudes to my employee group chat. Too long didn't read, at the bottom. Well, I recently started a new job about 5 to 6 months ago, doing some tech work, trying not to be too specific. With that being said, I'm pretty young, 24, definitely the youngest that works there by far. I also mostly work with other men, 30 to 40. We have a group me for the store I work at, which includes the owner, the manager and 5 to 6 other employees. The previous night I had been feeling a little frisky and desired to take some pictures/videos for the guy that I was with at the time. No biggie, right? The next morning I had work, go in as normal, pretty busy day actually. Noon rolls around and I needed to post a picture to the group about an issue I was having with a computer I was working on. I typed what I needed to said, clicked the camera roll icon, and just as I clicked the picture, a customer came up and started asking me a question. I hit send without thinking and go on about my day. I should also probably say that by this time I was working alone and closing, so no one else was around. The customer who came in kept me pretty busy for 30 to 45 minutes. When they finally left, I went to check my phone and saw I had a bunch of missed calls from my boss. At first I thought he was just calling me about the question I had. While the phone was ringing, I went back to look at the group. To my horror, I clicked not just a picture from the night before, but the whole damn video. My heart dropped instantly when I realized what happened. My boss picked up the phone. He began questioning me about what my intentions were with the video and that he's never had anyone do such a disrespectful act in the company before. I tried to explain, but needless to say, that was my last day working there. Lol. On the bright side, the co-worker I had a crush on finally got his attention. Woman shrugging, smiley face. Too long didn't read, tried to send a picture of a customer's problem to my employee group. Turns out I send an entire nude video of myself, still got the guy in the end. Edit, please stop upvoting for the love of God. Edit, since it stopped climbing, fuck it, here's the video. Later today I fucked up by telling Reddit I'll post nude video of myself if previous post gets 100k upvotes. Well, I'm pretty sure everyone in the group did. Lol. Entire subreddit is devoted to these exact kinds of videos, but we're pushing for 100k on this one. Fine, upvote it. As a fellow lady hoping to work in a tech field someday. Upvoting for the video at 100k. If this goes to 100k and you don't deliver, fucking I'm gonna sue you in /r/karma court. I've got mad bamboozle insurance to throw into the case. Today I fucked up by giving my son permission to beat his bully's ass. My son was born with a condition called pectus excavatum. In layman's terms, his chest is sunken in. His condition was so bad that he only had 2.5 inches between his sternum and his spine, and his heart and lungs were bruised because of it. In December, he had surgery to correct it, and they put 2 nickel bars in his chest to give it space and train his bones to grow correctly. About 3 weeks after his surgery, a kid punched him and dislodged the top bar, and he had to have another surgery to put the bar back in place. The kid has been through a lot. Well, the doctor cleared him for most activity last week, just no skateboarding or bike riding, but he could now lift his backpack and go hang out with friends and play pickup, non-contact sports. Unbeknownst to me, a kid in his class had been bullying him all semester. And because my son was afraid of getting hit again, he just took it. Well, the evening he was cleared, he came to me and said, "Dad, I'm cleared now. A kid has been bullying me and hitting me for months. Can I kick his ass?" Well, my son isn't really a fighter. He's fought with his brothers but never anyone else, and he's always gotten his ass kicked. So I just figured he was just talking. But this is the first I had heard about the bullying, and I was concerned. I could tell he was distressed about the situation, so I told him to knock the fucker out. He just nodded and went to his room. Now, his older brother is tough sob. He had a traumatic brain injury 2 years ago, and he missed a year of school, so he's in the same grade and coincidentally takes the same class. I talked to him about it and told him to handle it but don't get in trouble. He told me that the kid walks in every day and punches my son in the head. I asked him why he allowed that to happen, and he said he wanted his brother to get tough, and once he was tired of getting hit, he would do something about it. While I kinda agree with his thinking, I instructed him to handle it without getting in trouble. The next morning I took them both to school, then drove back home to get my younger daughter, who goes to a different school that starts later. On the way to take her to school, my wife calls me. "Have you taken XXXXX to school yet?" "Well, after you do, go pick up your son. He got in a fight." I just assumed it was my oldest son. Imagine my surprise when I walked into the school office to see my younger son with a grin from ear to ear. He was beaming. He pointed to another kid sitting in a chair holding an ice pack on his face. I warned him. I was so proud. He had walked into class, sat down, and the kid popped him in the head like always. My older son got up to intervene, and before he could, my son decked the kid with one punch. He said the kid was bawling on the floor and that it was the best day of his life. He got suspended for 3 days. Too long didn't read. I gave my son permission to beat up his bully because I didn't think he would, and he did it. Edit 1, the kid who punched my son in the chest was one of his friends. It wasn't malicious. Just 2 boys clowning around. He was horrified that he had hurt my son. The bully punched my son in the head every day. Once he found out my son couldn't do anything about it, he just kept on. My son wasn't the only one he bullied, either. Also, the bully's brother came to my son later and told him that he had warned him once my son could fight, that he was going to get his ass kicked. Edit 2, my son has some social anxiety, and since the fight he has made a lot of new friends. He used to hate going to school, but now he's disappointed that school is out for summer. Crazy. Edit 3, thanks for the precious metals. And holy shit. Front page. Nice zero tolerance. Kid hits your kid every day, no one does shit about it. The second he fights back, suspended. What a crock. The zero tolerance shit kills me. It encourages bullies to do their thing because nothing ever happens until the victim fights back. If they do get caught, so what? They don't have to go to school. Win for them. Zero tolerance is code for zero liability for the school. I don't see the today I fucked up. This is how you teach your kids to deal with bullies. Today I fucked up equals today I helped my son fuck up a bully. Not sure how this is a today I fucked up. Honestly, just a great story. Yeah, the bully deserved it. In my books, if someone hits you first then swing away. Did the school punish the kid who dislodged the bar? In my books, that is something that should have been handled, especially if it caused another surgery. You need to make a formal complaint to the school board. Your son acted in self-defense after being punched. He should not be suspended. His teacher should be suspended for letting this go on. I'm proud of your son too.